Okay guys, we're back. So remember, we talked about this before. So we started off at Tommy's Hole that day, then we went to Woody's Hole in Peyton's Bay, and here we are just leaving Woody's Hole and heading out of Peyton's Bay. We're going to go to the grass flats east of Peyton's Bay, which is the saucer area. So we put in about I think it's about 10:30, 11 o'clock that morning, and we caught about 5 or 6 reds behind Bird Island there at Tommy's Hole, and then we shot on over to Woody's Hole in Peyton's Bay, and we caught, I think, 3 more reds and a trout. And then it started to get kind of crowded. A lot of boats started piling into the bay. So I told Cassie, hey, let's just pick up and we'll move across to the other side. So here we are, and we're heading back to the Intracosta waterway, and we're right at the southern tip of Peyton's Bay, Woody's Hole, Peyton's Bay. Spoil banks are coming up that divide the bay from the Intracosta waterway, and then you'll start to see a few of those cabins that you usually see sprinkled up and down everywhere. But it was a beautiful day. So this is probably around I wouldn't say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because I want to say we made it back there by 3:30 because the sun hadn't totally gone down. And this is in November. Like I said, this is three years ago, so it's been a while since I've reviewed this video. I mean, I hadn't reviewed it since I made it 3 years ago. But you know, the daylight in November, you know, you have short daylight hours, longer night hours. So basically what I'm going to do here is, right here's the Intracosta waterway right here. Right there, we're crossing over it. There's cabins on each side of it. And basically what I'm just going to do is here, I'm going to shoot right out to this grass flat. But this is what I do. So just look at the color of the water. You see how the water's murky and there's no clarity in the water? I'm sure you catch fish there. I'm sure there's reds. I'm sure there's drum. But me, I kind of like the clear water grass flats. I like the clear water grass flats on the lower Laguna Madre. I like drift fishing those. So I'm going to shoot all the way out past this line where the water is murky and then it turns to clear. And then I'm going to go a little bit further than that, so that when I drift back to this line, it gives me a little bit of space. And this is my marcation line. So what I'm using here is, I'm using from where the water line borders the clear water. So the murky water and the clear water have a line out there in the lower Laguna Madre. And I'm going to use that as my ending point. So I'm going to shoot past that probably, I don't know, 300-400 yards, 500 yards, and then I'm going to start drift fishing. And I'm going to drift back to this line where the water's murky, and then I'm going to pick up and go back again. And we do really well there. We catch some really nice reds here. I don't do GPS. A lot of people used that's not what I use my GPS for. I don't log in locations where I fish. I just go and fish and try it, you know. I've been going out here for so long, so I just know certain areas where I go, and that's where I go and I try it. And then, like I said, there's no secret spots on the lower Laguna Madre. It's just places you haven't tried to fish. So if you kind of just start doing GPS locations and stuff, you kind of limited yourself to trying different areas, because you're always going to go back, oh, I caught them here before. And I really don't know how well those work, because like I said, I don't use GPS for that. The only reason why I have a GPS on my boat is, 1, for the water temperature, 2, to basically if I have bad weather, so I can navigate in bad weather, because there's going to be a video coming up that'll be a perfect example of this. Because before, when it was foggy back in the day, you sat there, you didn't do any navigating. you sat and you waited till the fog lifted, and then you came on in. But with GPS now, you can navigate through the fog. So I mean, that's really the only reasons why I have one. I mean, I'll look at this new GPS that I bought for the boat to be refitted on the boat. We'll see what all the features are on that. But I don't have GPS locations, because I've had some people ask in the comments about GPS locations. I don't use them. Sorry guys, I'm just not that kind of person. I just go out and fish, and I try this area, try that area, this area, and I just stop where I think there'll probably be fish. And this is the thing, is like I said, now you see how the water's clear? So see, I'm gonna mark my spot. We've already passed from the murky to the clear, and then I'm gonna go a little ways in there, about 300 to 500 yards, and then I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna drift back to that line. And that's all I do right here, and we catch all these redfish. And I like seeing foam in the water. That tells me that fish, bait fish have been swimming through there, so I always look for that, for streaks in the water. I always look for that, and as you can see, this water here has a lot of it. So I'm already seeing good signs. I'm seeing movement, and I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna do good here. But what I was just saying was the grass flats. There are redfish all over the grass flats out here. I mean, yeah, some of them move in schools and stuff like that, and you get on a big school and you catch some, but there are always redfish sitting, lying in wait, hiding in the grass to ambush bait fish. They're everywhere. We have a really good, strong redfish population on the lower Laguna Madre. So you can pretty much go anywhere out there in that clear water grass flat, and all you got to do is drift it,
it's already getting too many people,
and take the time and work the area, and you're going to catch them. They're there. They've always been there.
Directly straight across into the flats.
You know, it gets more challenging when it's hot, like now in the summer months.
So you
want to go super early in the morning or late in the evening to catch them in the flats, because they'll generally move off into a deeper shelf to stay cool and get out of the heat, but they'll be right back up in them flats as soon as that sun starts going down. They'll be moving back into the flats to catch the bait. And fish feed 24/7, so they just don't feed in the daytime. They feed at night too.
Directly across is Woody's Hole.
So
islands this way.
but you see, look at you see the foam in the water. There's a lot of beautiful white foam in the water. Those are my streaks of showing me that bait fish have been running through here. So I'm just saying, hey, I'm across from Peyton's Bay. As you can see, directly across are those Spoil Bank Islands. That's not Rattlesnake Bay, that's Peyton's Bay. And I'm directly across from. I'm north of Green Island, south of Port Mansfield, east of Peyton's Bay and Woody's Hole. And I'm going to use the bunker. I was talking about the bunker in the last video, how that's my favorite one out there in the clear water. And look at this. Second or third cast, I catch a 25-inch redfish with it. And I just stopped there. And it's about, like I say, a little bit after 2 o'clock, about 2:30, right there somewhere. I think I only fished for about an hour. I want to say we're fishing in about 22 inches deep of water there. If I remember right, that's what that was. 22 to 24, right there somewhere.
So we'll see. I don't know if this.
And the water is crystal clear.
Will work good in 2 feet of water. Usually wake bait's good for.
I think it was just right under 2 feet, or right around there.
Get the flash on the reds to hit it.
But then it does get a little bit shallower in some areas, and then it goes deep again because you got potholes. It's just like behind Bird Island and the grass flats east of Rattlesnake Bay. There's potholes all out there, and it's just all grass. And this is my game. I love fishing the wide open, clear water, grass flats on the lower Laguna Madre. Cassie right there barking it up, getting her mojo going. She's already been red hot all day. We had 5 or 6 reds in the morning that she barked up behind Bird Island there at Tommy's Hole. And then another 3 reds and a trout over in Woody's Hole in Peyton's Bay. And now she's going to try out the saucer here and see what kind of mojo she can produce here. And boy, does she. She's spot on, man. She was spot on all that day. Let me tell you, she was all barked out after that day. Because we caught fish all day long there. We put in, like I said, between 10:30 and 11. And we were back at the dock around 3:30. And we fished Tommy's Hole behind Bird Island. Then we went to Woody's Hole and Peyton's Bay. And now we're in the grass flats and the saucer east of Peyton's Bay. Drift fishing. And I've fished out here for years. The target poles are a little bit further north of me, if they're still out there. I'm south of those target poles, and then of course it gets deeper where what they call the hole. You know, where the water's real deep, where it's like, whatever it is, 13, 14, 15 feet deep in that area. But here, this is one of my favorite places too. Anywhere out there, like I'm telling you. I just love fishing the grass flats. I work the area. A lot of people fish differently. Like I said, there's no wrong way to fish, but there are people that'll shoot out there in their boat and then they'll stop and they'll make a few casts and they're like, oh, there's nothing here. And then they'll fire up and they'll shoot across the bay and go to this spot and try. Look at that, right there, boom. There it is. 25-inch red. That's not how I am. I like working the area. I like to drift slow, take my time, and work the area, and it always produces. You always catch something. And this is a perfect example of it right here. Late in the afternoon, after the tide's already changed and the bite's already done, they're still biting. And Cassie barked up a 25-inch redfish right here. And I was using that artificial wake bait, laser eye, from Offshore Angler Bass Pro. The variety is Bunker. It's the golden black. That thing kills the reds out there. And I only have one of those. But man, every time I use it, the reds eat it up. In the clear water. It doesn't do so well in the murky water, but boy, in that clear water, for some reason, the way the sun hits it, and the reflection on the water, and the motion, it does really well. And this is a perfect example of it right here. Beautiful day. It's been beautiful all day long. Beautiful November day. This was on a Wednesday. And on that Wednesday, I made 3 videos out of one fishing trip. Look at that big old red. That's why I like those offshore angler poles, because you can control them well. I have my old 430 SS pin spinner on there, my 1968 model. It still works. Do a little recording of him before I get him in. So let's take a look at him. So as you can see, the water's a little bit shallower there than when we first started drifting. So it got a little shallower. So it's probably about 20 inches. 18 to 20 inches it looks like.
Out here in the grass flats.
But look at that beautiful red. Nothing like it, guys. That's what it's all about. Catching redfish in the shallow water grass flats on the lower Laguna Madre. That's a beautiful red. I gotta get me one of those one finger bogas, the nifty grippers that I have there. That's the Rapala one, but it's 2 fingers. I do need to upgrade and get a 1 finger version one. Those are easier to work than the 2 fingers. Look at that beautiful red. Look at the gold on him, man. That's a beautiful redfish. She's been out there for a while to get that beautiful deep bronze color on him.
Wake bait. I'll measure him
Yeah,
here.
beautiful.
I think it's the 3rd cast with that.
And he's caught on the laser eye Bunker wake bait from Bass Pro Shop, which is discontinued, like I've talked about in the 2 previous videos. It's sad too, because like I said, that's good lure and it's a cheap lure. I only paid $4.98, $5 for it, and it catches them. You know, I'm waiting to try out my all those wake baits that I bought from. I bought their whole lineup from 6 Cents, but I haven't been in the water, so I don't know how good those are. So I'm hoping that they're going to be good. I won't know till once I get back on the water and try them. I've been sitting on them for about a year now.
25-inch redfish.
And we'll see. Look at that beautiful red. Boy.
Out here in the grass flats.
Doesn't get any
I don't
better
really
than
know
that.
what you call this place. It's way north of of Green Island, you're talking.
I guarantee you that night when Cassie was going to lay her little head down on her bed, that she had a nice big pile of jerky sticks there. As a nice little evening snack for all the good hard work that she put in that day.
The entrance to Woody's Holes right there. A beautiful.
Putting this on the reds all day long.
Did it on that golden laser eye wake bait. That thing's been producing all day long.
Beautiful.
It produced behind Bird Island.
And like I say, guys, I'm not a GPS person when it comes to lock this spot. That way you can come right directly back to that spot because the fish move. They move in circles. Yeah, there are some people who say that they're there at the same time that year. If you go a year later, they're going to be back there at the same time. I mean, there may be some truth to that. I don't know. Because, you know, all my videos, my earlier ones, if you notice, I put the day and the date on it. Well, that's the reason why I put the day and the date. So if you ever wanted to go and try that area, you can go back to that area and try it on that day and that date. See if it lives to be true. Which I've never done, but that was the reason why it'll show on there. It'll give you the month, the day, and the date that I was in that area. There's a little reference there. But there's just so vast area out here. I mean, there's so much. I've been fishing out here for, you know, over 30 years, 35, 40 years. And I still haven't covered all of this area. Yeah, I know it real well, but there's still a lot of places out there that I haven't drifted across because it's just so vast. I mean, you're talking, you've got 40, 50 miles of clear water grass flats that run from Padre Island all the way up to the land cut. Just so much potential. And I just picked a spot. Went right out there, picked a spot, and stopped, and on the second, third cast, look what we caught. 25-inch beautiful red. Look at that beautiful red.
25-inch red. It's a beautiful.
And Cassie did a good job there. She was on her game. Like I told you guys in the previous video, Cassie used to love going fishing on the boat. She always looked forward to that. So I'm hopefully Rusty will take to this too. We'll see. But Cassie, she could never get enough of it being out there on the boat.
Beautiful.
She loved going fishing. That's a beautiful red. I like the way it's got the double dot. You see that? That's pretty cool, huh? It's pretty slick. One big, one small.
He's ready. Ready?
That's pretty neat. There he goes. And that red is gone. Like I told you guys, I generally don't keep the big ones. I'll keep the smaller ones. They're better eating. Bigger ones are fun, more fun to catch. But we usually let the big ones go. If that all possible. So here we go. So that's red number one. I want to say we caught 4 or 5 here. Like I said, I haven't seen this since I made this video. I do remember pieces of it. Because like a lot of my fishing trips, I remember sections of it when I start seeing it. Of what was going on at the moment. But here's another one right here. Look at this. And all I do is I don't do anything fancy. I don't do any jerking on that wake bait. I just slow crank it back to the boat, and I want to keep it. I'm trying to keep it on top of the water because if I go too fast, it's going to dive. I don't want it to dive. If I was in a little bit deeper water, that'd be a different story. I'd go deeper into the strike zone. But since I'm fishing shallow water grass flats, I like to keep it on top. And it never gets old when that red comes up and over the top and hits it and starts running with it. Because you got to set the hook quick, because as soon as that red bites down on it, it's going to realize that's not a bait fish that it eats because it's hard. And it's going to try to spit it back at you. So you got to be quick on the draw and set the hook, or you're going to miss him. There he is. Boom. Second cast again. Another red. Sun's going down, but you got to remember this is in the winter time. So this is around between 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because the sun is usually below the horizon by 4:30 in the winter time. It's already getting dark. Sun's already set by then. Between 4:30 and 5. And this was a good way to finish off the day there. It's just coming straight across there, and boom, we're on the reds again. Look at that. Another nice little red. Not as big as the other one, but still beautiful redfish. Cassie red hot. Marking those reds out. That's a nice red too. I don't remember what size it was. It's probably 22, 23, right there somewhere. I think that 25 was the biggest one we caught there. I could be wrong, but we'll see how it plays out here. So that's red number 2. Let's see if we put them all in here. I want to say we caught 4, maybe 5, if I remember right, something like that. Because what I didn't realize, what you're going to see at the end of the video, which we'll talk about here in a minute, is I already had some reds in the live well. I had a bunch of them in there. Yeah, I got too excited catching redfish, and I didn't keep count of what we were putting in the live well. Yeah. But we let them go. All we kept at the end of the day were the 3 smallest ones we kept. So yeah, it's not quite as big, but still, that's a nice red.
Wake bait. Back here on the grass flats.
It's a nice little red there.
East of Tommy's hole.
And one thing about using lures with treble hooks, multiple treble hooks, you always got to watch you don't hook yourself. So I always use pliers I don't ever use my hands to take the lure off, to de-hook the fish from the lure. I use pliers. Too easy to get hooked. If it's just a single one, then yeah, not a problem.
20-inch
but multiple hooks on there, fish jiggles around, and the next thing you know it, you're going to have it stuck in your hand. Look at that. Beautiful bronze too. Look at that beautiful red.
Beautiful low red. Got him on that laser eye, golden
Can't beat it.
Wake bait. That's all I've been fishing today.
It never gets old.
Wake bait.
Always, you know,
live well is still
potential. When you put in at the dock down there at Tomei, you head out. You're anticipating the day, and yeah, there are going to be some days that you really got to work for it, and some days that you don't get anything. But then there are days like this that everything lines up,
the blue one hasn't produced,
and you're just catching them everywhere you go.
Which I'll show you guys here in a little.
Everywhere you go.
But we're gonna let this one go because I already got plenty of fish.
They're everywhere.
We're fixing to hit the line.
That's why they call it fishing.
And then it drops off more into deeper water. And I always like fishing on this side than the other side. And it seems like there's more hard heads on that other side.
So yeah,
back here in the
another beautiful redfish.
Where all the reds hang out at.
Put in here. I guess we'll talk about the boat a little bit. I'm still on standby. They haven't shipped out my helm, which is, I'm kind of upset. It's kind of because I've been pretty patient with these people, and they're supposed to send me some type of email on what the situation is, but apparently it takes 2 business days for a response on the email. So when I talk to them on Friday, that means they don't count Saturday or Sunday because the business is closed. So that means they got Friday, they got Monday, and then Tuesday is when I should hear a response, which I find kind of ridiculous. It's kind of poor customer service, but that's how they operate. I mean, they're over in Florida. I mean, there's nothing I can really do about it over there. Look at that beautiful red. But that's what we're waiting on. The boat's been sitting. Everything else is pretty much done. There might be a few things I want to tweak with him, but I haven't gone up to Corpus Christi to see the boat because I don't have the helm. I don't have the helm and the piston and the hydraulic lines to finish it off. Because I'm sure there's going to be a few other things that I want to add to make sure that's there. No trolling motor has been put on the boat yet. I'm still debating if I'm going to use my old one or if I'm just going to wait and get a different one later. I haven't decided because I hardly ever use the trolling motor anyway. I mean, it's nice to have, but we'll see. I just probably go back with my old one, but the verdict's still out on that. But yeah, it's going to be another week. I don't have anything to post on the boat. I won't have
Fish number
anything
2
until I
out
go
here
to
on
Corpus
this side of the
Christi,
flat.
and I have no reason of going up there if I don't have the parts to give to him to finish
Conley's Hole,
to finish it
slash
off.
Peyton's Bay. Peyton's Bay's more on the
So
northern
I'm
end.
just kind of in a
Conley's
holding
Hole's at
pattern
the southern end of it.
with these guys.
I don't know why,
And
but
yeah,
that's all
I was kind of upset about it. I really
just
let
as it
them
was producing over
know
at Bird
that,
Island this morning,
you know, but it doesn't seem like they
it's
care.
producing out here too. It's clear water. This is clear water. It's
So
clear. You can see
I would have
stuff.
known. I would have bought it somewhere
For
else.
some reason, this gold works really good
You
out
know.
here in clear water. It didn't work any good in that
But
brackish water over there.
I'm gonna give them a
But
call
the red
today
ones-
here. They're an hour ahead of us, so I don't know what time it is right now. I think it's about 5 a.m.
We'll try a few more.
So when it reaches 7 here, it'll be 8 o'clock over there, and I'm gonna do a follow-up call with them over there
See what else
and see what's
comes up, 'cause
going on with
GoPro's
it.
almost dead. I don't have much battery left.
So that's 2 reds so
We'll try a
far
few
here.
more.
That Cassie's barked up. So here we go. We're still using the bunker. We haven't switched. Oh, one thing that's not in this video that I did use out here before I started using the bunker, I used that torpedo from Rapala, the black one, the big long black one that's like 5-6 inches long, and I didn't get any hits, nothing. It's the same color as this guy, black and gold, and it swims on top of the water, except back by the fin it's got a propeller that turns back by the fin that makes the wake in the water. I didn't get no hits, no nothing on that, so I threw that first before I started throwing this. But no sooner I put that bunker out there, boom, I caught that 25 inch, and then we caught this one right now, and then you watch, look at this cast here, we're gonna catch another one. But that Rapala, I think it's called Torpedo, I believe is what it is. Torpedo? I remember right? I haven't caught jack with that thing. I paid like $12, $13 for that lure, and it's I haven't caught anything with that. And I've used it multiple times out there. I don't know. I guess maybe the way it makes the wake, because it's in the back of the lure and not in the front. Maybe that's just completely different, because it's got the rattle BBs in it, just like this wake bait that I'm using right now, like the bunker does. But it didn't produce anything. Didn't produce nothing other than catching grass. That's all it caught. So I think we catch him on the third one here. I think once I get it in here, I think the third cast is when we hook another one. And there was a lot of grass floating in the water out there. As you can see, if you look on there, I got to peel some of the grass off. There's tons of grass floating in that water. So don't let that hinder you from trying it if you see a lot of grass and using top water, because it still works in the grass. Granted, yeah, you're gonna have to clean the grass off of it, but they're still hitting it. This is a proven example of that. That even though there's a lot of grass floating in the water, they'll still hit it. And you got to remember, they always tell you top water first thing in the morning, man. But this is the afternoon, man. Look at that, boom, third red. We catch them all right here in a row, and it's only 2 or 3 casts apart for each one of them. Again, I don't stay here that long. We don't have to once we catch those. I think the reason why I stopped fishing was, one, my GoPro battery, I was down to my last one, and it was fixing to die, which it does. It does die in this video. I have to finish it off on my cell phone at the very end. And then I was going to fly my drone. I wanted to get the drone up before the sun got too low, but then the batteries were dead on the drone too. I didn't have any power, so I didn't get no drone footage of this area. Other than I got an initial one where it went up and just kind of like a little pan up, and then that was it. Then I had to bring the drone back. It was already signaling that it was out of battery, and I needed to get it back to the boat so it didn't fall in the water. But so this is red number 3 right here. Red number 3.
Nice, beautiful little red.
Oh, a nice little red. It's right there, you know, 21. Looks like about 21-inch red. And this place is vast. I mean, when you get on the other side, like I said, Peyton's Bay is long, but it's not real wide. But you come out across to the grass flats past that, boy, it's big and wide. You got miles, you know. And we're drifting towards Port Mansfield. The wind's coming out of the south. This was still in November. The wind wasn't out of the north yet. It was still warm. We haven't had the cold front yet. And the wind is still blowing out of the south. And you see I'm lined up where my white streaks are at in the water. You can see the foam in the water. I always love those. It gives me a good sign that there's going to be predator fish in that area because they're looking for the bait fish. And as you can see, it paid off here. And like I said, you got to remember, these fish that I'm catching, they're not swimming around. These are fish that are hiding out in this grass, waiting for bait to come along and to ambush them. They've been living out here in this flat for a long time. So you can come across schools and catch them in schools and stuff like that. That's what people usually look for. That's not what I usually target. I target the solitary red that's living in the grass flat and hanging there in that area, waiting to ambush and prey upon bait fish. Nice little red. All of them. See how they're all deep gold bronze? They've all been out there for a long time in that shallow water to get that deep color like that.
Golden laser eye wake bait.
That's my game.
That I don't like about this
I go after the solitary ones. I don't look for big schools like you'll see some people when they fish. They look for the big school and they cast into the big school. That's easy, man.
And it's done that to every redfish that I've caught.
What I like is I like the hunt. I like to go out there and we're on the hunt. Cassie and me, we're on the hunt. And we're looking for them.
For some reason, I guess when they hit it, it flicks around.
And we catch these ones one at a time.
That's the only downside.
Drifting in those areas.
I don't really like.
And they're always out there, like I said. You just got to take the time. Don't rush it.
This one's going back.
Take your time.
But I mean, it'll heal.
Make the boat drift as slow as possible. And just work the area, and you're going to see it's going to pay off for you, whether you're using artificial or whether you're using live bait. Because I fish with both, and I catch them with both.
Right on the bottom here.
I don't have an issue using live bait. I'll go out there and pop the cork and catch just as many reds like what I caught here with this artificial bait. But just work the area. Give it time. The slower you can slow it down, you're going to see it's going to produce. Because first you got to start drifting. That's another thing that I didn't mention. When I went out and I started drifting here with this one, what I did was I drifted for a little bit before I started fishing. And then I started off with the torpedo from Rapala. I didn't catch anything with that at all, so I tossed that back in the box and I put on my tried and true laser eye bunker wake bait from Bass Pro, and then that's when boom, I caught everything on that. But as you can see there, the water is about 18-20 inches.
He's gone, buddy.
Let that guy go. So that's 3.
So that's just one downside. That's just
like I said, that day between the 3 spots we caught like, shoot, I want to say like 15 fish, because there are some other fish that I caught that aren't in the video that have been edited out that we didn't use. But it was right there, man. It was 14-15 fish that we caught. Might have been more. I mean, I just lost count. Because the perfect example is you're going to see when I go to the live well, I got 6 spreads inside the live well right there. Way over the limit. That's a big no-no. So I'd let those guys go, man. I kept 3 and I let the other 3 go. I forgot that I'd been putting them in the live well. I was just too busy catching them. And I was waiting to catch smaller ones. And then I was going to let those go. Which I did at the end of the video here, which you'll see. We do let them go. But yeah, just kind of keep mindful, man. You don't want to be caught with too many fish out there. I dodged a big bullet there, man. When I opened it up, I realized, like, wow, I got a lot of fish in here. And we picked out the 3 smallest ones, and we let the 3 biggest ones go. Is what we did on that. Look at that. Red number 4. Boom. As you can see, the sun hasn't moved that much, man. We're just catching them left and right here, man. And like I said, these redfish here are not in schools. These are solitary hunters out here in the grass flats that I'm catching. They're not moving around in one big school. I'm not parked over a big school of redfish and I'm just catching them left and right because I'm over a big school. That's not what's happening here. They're hiding in this grass, and I'm throwing my lure out there, and when they see that motion, they come up to the top of the water and hit it and strike it because they're looking for the opportunity.
Another red.
So red number 4.
Baby red.
Cassie red hot. Her mojo was red hot, boy, let me tell you. I think this one's the smallest one of them all. I want to say I don't think he's a keeper. Well, we'll see. I just let him go. He's not a keeper.
So you see what I'm talking about? You see how?
And if I keep him, then that means he's right there, right at 21.
Comes around and hooks him there. It happens every time with the red.
But you see how you got to watch. You don't want to get yourself hooked, especially when you're using lures with multiple treble hooks on them. Always use your pliers. Don't try to reach up there with your hand and unhook it, because when that fish moves, see how that fish is moving? It's going to hook you every time, and you're going to have a hook in your hand. And then you're going to be in for it. Always be safe.
17-inch red. Caught on that.
So I want to say that one's below 20.
Laser
To me, it looks like that's about an 18 or a 19 redfish.
This guy back.
I'm sure I'm telling you there in the camera, but it looks kind of small. But still, he's red number 4.
The underside of the redfish up every time.
I'm just fishing for fun now. I've already surpassed my limit for the day, which I realize at here in a minute when I look in there, like, oh wow, I need to call this out because I got way too many redfish.
Oh, something that's pretty cool about this one is this. You see how he's got one spot there? He's got one spot, but look on the other side. Double spot.
Double spots.
Pretty
look
cool.
at those.
Pretty unique.
That's pretty cool, huh? 2 big spots back there. That's pretty neat. That little red. So we let him go.
And he is gone, Chuppy. Man, you are on fire today, buddy,
yeah.
When it comes to catching reds. And we must have caught 12, 13 of those guys. Well, no, to review the...
This is what I like doing. Drift fishing the wide open, clear water grass flats of the Lower Laguna Madre.
So
that's what I like doing.
We fished with the red.
So I tried the red and white one, and that's what I'm talking about. That one didn't produce, but right there, the blue one didn't work either.
And we threw.
But now the gold one, that's what I caught them all on. There, that one. The red and white one worked beautiful over in Peyton's Bay.
Nothing at all.
But but out here in that clear water,
3 trout. No,
it doesn't do as well. You get a hit every now and then on it.
This guy.
For some reason, they love the gold one.
And the gold one was the big winner today.
That's the one that produces in the
I think
clear
9
water.
reds with this one today. I won't know until I review it. It's at least 9, maybe 10.
And I got 3 colors. I got red, blue,
called laser eyes,
and gold. Well, red and white,
series.
Blue and silver,
And
gold and black. I got 3 different colors of that series
brand. They
of
own
wake
it.
bait.
It's the same brand as my Pose, as my Inshore Extremes, which is offshore angler. So their offshore angler is made, and I think that's an.
So yeah, that's what I'm just covering. It's the laser eye.
And the ones that do well
wake bait
so far out here are the gold.
Offshore angler from Bass Pro Shop. Which, like I said, you'll go over there, you can't find it. They don't make it anymore. They've replaced it with XPS now in saltwater. Before, the XPS was nothing but in their bass section, but if you go over there now in their saltwater where the offshore angler used to be, it's now XPS is what's there. And none of it's wake bait, I don't believe. I think it's all twitch bait.
But
you know,
I'll throw some artificial videos in there.
So,
to show you, and I'll try out lures.
So that's what they're expanding their line to now. It's going to be nothing but XPS. They don't know, you know. They don't know what they had. They killed something that was simple but very effective.
I'm ready to call it a day.
And I guarantee you, if most of the anglers down here that fished the lower Laguna Madre, knew those things worked so well. Shoot. They'd have their tackle boxes full of them. But they dropped the line. All right, so one of these days,
guys on the next one.
you know, we will see you guys
4 o'clock. I want to get back
out there.
Pretty far north. I don't usually come
and
out this far north. I haven't been out like this, but
we hope everybody enjoys the lower Laguna Madre like Cassie and me have, and hopefully Rusty and me will have.
I used to fish this year.
I'm hoping that Rusty will enjoy it. Cassie has had a phenomenal time when she was out there.
And I come out and I go to the whole saucer area out here at the old target post.
And we just wish that everybody else
and then I would fish overnight, and usually you catch big
has
reds,
the opportunity to experience the beautiful asset that we have here, which is the lower Laguna Madre.
On the way back, we just drift fish in.
Just to be out there on the lower Laguna Madre,
I didn't start fishing
chasing the reds down in the flats. There's nothing like it.
My work schedule back then, my work schedule was different, so
I think we're going to catch another one here. We'll see. We'll take a look.
Coming out in the daytime.
And then I think we call it a day, because that's number 4, right? And I want to say we catch one more.
There's fish all over this bay. The fishing isn't like what it used to be. I can attest to that. But there's still fish here. And we just have to,
it never gets old for me, guys. It never does.
So it's always out here so we can come out and catch it. As you can see today, it was a banner day. We caught a lot of reds.
So I've been fishing it since the 1980s.
And it gives me hope, because when I see them back here, like
and I'm on my second boat. My first boat that I ever bought when I started in the 80s, I was going out on other people's boats because I couldn't afford to buy one. And then I bought one in 1997, which was the Dargo 170 Scout, the 17-foot Dargo.
Other than that, we're probably going to fly the drone.
And I fished out of that boat for 20 years. Had an 88 Evinrude special on the back.
All 3 videos are going to be on artificial wake bait.
Caught a lot of redfish, a lot of trout, a lot of redfish off that boat. And then in 2016, 2017, decided that we needed to upgrade. I wanted to get a little bit bigger boat.
I guess Woody's hole, I don't know.
So that's when I started looking. I remember the old show water that I used to ride out on of a friend of my brother's, old Robert Mummy. He had one.
All right, guys. One more recap. I'll remember I mentioned about the reds.
I remember how shallow that big old boat could get, and I figured, well, we'd go look for one and find one.
I didn't realize I had that many.
And I found one on Craigslist for $4,500, which is this one. Restored it once, and now it's going through its second restoration.
3 reds plus the trout over in whatchamacallit over here.
And it'll be back on the water either at the end of June or sometime in July. I'm just waiting on the helm. That's all that's holding me up. I still need to buy the flares. I haven't bought the flares yet. I'm kind of leery of buying flares online, because when you see there's discounts on flare kits, more than likely it's getting close to the expiration date on that kit, because the flares are only good for like 4 years. You have to update them, I think, every 4 years, 3 or 4 years, I believe. They have to be updated.
And then the other 3 are going to go.
And because they expire.
I'm going to freshen them up. And I'll show you the release of
so,
them. We're going to put them back into the lower.
I still need to get the flares. I need to get some new life preservers. I already have the throw cushions, the flotation device. I already have the horn. I have the whistle. I have the first aid kit. I have the fire extinguisher.
Which ones we're going to release and which ones we're going to keep.
So look here. So let's take a look. So see, I've been catching so many fish between Peyton's Bay and over also at whatchamacallit, behind Bird Island at Tommy's Hole. I had, what is in there? Is it 6 or 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. I have 6 reds in there. So I need to call these out. That's way too many reds for one person to have. So even though it's exciting catching fish, guys, just don't ever make this mistake and keep too many. You're only allotted 3 per day is what you're allotted. So we're gonna let those guys go. We're gonna trim them all back down to 3. So we're gonna keep 3 and we're gonna let 3 go. The 3 biggest ones are gonna go back. And I'm going to keep the 3 smallest ones. If it doesn't revive, I'll have to keep it. but most of them were revived in there. I think there were 2 that weren't so, they were kind of lethargic. I think those are the 2 that I kept. And then I kept 1 more, and then the other 3 went back. So I think this one here, I think I keep this one because I don't think it revives. Let's see if I push him to the back of the boat. So that'll be our number 1 on our limit, if it is. Yeah, he's taking too long to revive, so he's going to be kept. I'm pretty sure I don't let this one go. He's not showing me what I think that he needs to be doing, so that one's going to be kept. So that's 1. And then my GoPro camera dies here, and we got to finish it off with the cell phone here in a minute. It's going to cut out. Because I was out of batteries. But yeah, just kind of keep on top of your count. I let it get away from me that day. I'm usually not that careless. Because most of the time I don't even bring any back. I usually let them all go. I'll bring back some, you know, and we'll have them in the fridge. And if we haven't eaten them, then I don't bring them back when I go out. So the GoPro died. And now I put my cell phone up there on the console, and we're gonna get the rest of them out of there and let them go.
I'm gonna keep 3.
But yeah, just kind of don't make the mistake that I made here. I was fortunate that we're still way out here in the middle of nowhere. I've never had any issues with game wardens. I think I've been stopped.
He's getting the water down enough so we can...
It was at the dock, I think, only 1 time in my entire career, and they measured everything out that I had. Other than that, I've never been stopped by them, and because most of the time I usually let all the fish go anyway. You just don't want to be on that wrong side. Just follow the regulations. Only keep what you're allotted, and let the rest go. I just got too excited, and I forgot how many I had put in there. You know, I'm getting old these days, so but we corrected it here. The rest of them are real lively. They're hard to catch. I had to grab them with both hands because they were fighting big time, but we did get them out of there and put them back in the lower Laguna Madre so that they could get bigger and somebody can catch them again one of these days. Look at that one. That one's kicking, boy. Look at that. Hey, he's ready to go. We'll get him gone. And he is gone.
He's gone.
So that's 1. Remember, we had 6.
2 more.
We're going to keep 3, and we're going to let 3 go. So let's get number 2. And they're hard to catch too because they're lively. They're strong. I mean, you don't realize it until you get one in your hand that's full of energy. They're strong fish. I mean, just look at the way they fight, even the small ones. Look at that, number 2.
Number 2.
Time to go home, baby. So that's number 2.
Very lively. He's gone too.
1 more, and then we'll keep the other 2 plus the one I laid on the deck, and that's my 3 for the day. And like I said, if I still have fish in the there's number 3.
Number 3.
He's ready to go. I won't bring any back at all. I fish for fun.
All right, so
because I love to fish.
I already got 1 in the cooler. I'm going to keep the other 2 that are in here, so that gives me 3 for the day. And we're going to take home.
Yeah, we just got to keep it on the up and up. So, you know, I don't want to set a bad example for anybody, but like I said, just don't do what I did here. Don't keep more than your limit. Because if you were stopped, you could have potential problems.
But like I say, today,
And
day on the lower
and
Lagunamadre.
you know, I don't want to
There's
influence
reds everywhere.
anybody
Everywhere I
and
went,
say,
we were
hey,
catching reds.
that it's okay. It's not
What
okay.
it's all about, coming out
Should
to
only
the
keep the
grass
3.
flats, mud flats,
Rest needs to
sand
go.
flats, chasing down the reds.
And like I said, I was
Spending
catching so
time
many
on the
fish. I
lower
didn't realize I had that many in
Beautiful day
there
today.
because some of
Wind
those
wasn't
fish
too
were
bad.
left
We're
from
starting to pick up. We're starting to get
Bird Island
heavier
earlier
casts.
in the
Boats
morning
starting to rock.
that were
Most
in
of
there.
the day, the wind was just pretty much perfect for us.
And when we fished Bird Island,
Cassie
shot
did her
to
part, marked them up.
over to
There were a few misses
Peyton's
in
Bay,
there.
and then we threw a couple of them
Everything
in there
was
from
caught on
Peyton's Bay,
artificial bait today.
and
I
then a
still
couple
have
got
whole
probably thrown in here
quart of
too.
Shrimp in here. I guess we'll take home and
Here
eat, or I'll
at
give it to
the
somebody
saucer.
at the dock.
And we ended
There's
up with
somebody up there
6.
fishing at the dock. I'll
So
give
we
you
had to
that
trim it
one.
down. We trimmed it
But I
down to
never
our limit,
used-
which was
All
3.
we did is use artificial
and we're good to
all
go.
day today. I started off with the wake bait, and that's what I stuck with the whole day, and it paid off. I'm gonna make 3 different videos out of what I
Like I say, I hope everybody has as much fun as I do. I mean, I just love going out fishing the lower Lagunamadre, whether I catch fish or not. Just being out there, being on the water.
Down into 3 parts.
You know,
part 1's going to be
the beauty,
Tommy's hole. Part
the
2
sights,
is going
the
to be
sounds,
Woody's
the
hole.
smell.
And part 3 is going to be
You know,
east of Woody's hole.
we are really
and
fortunate to
grass
have this
flats.
beautiful resource right here in our backyard that we could go out and enjoy it at any time that we want to enjoy it.
And I probably caught 12, 13 redfish today.
So
a good
lucky.
day. A really good day today.
And I think we have one of the most unique
We let go, and then plus the other 3 that I
systems
just let go right now.
out
I
there.
didn't realize I had,
If you
6
look
of them
and you
in
compare
there.
what's around you, I mean, yeah, Florida and
Usually when
stuff,
I catch the bigger
they
ones,
got that clear
I'll put 'em in the
water
live
and
well
they got all kinds of
until I can catch a smaller one.
species and
Because I'm
stuff.
planning on,
But the
harvesting them and taking them home.
uniqueness
I'll
of
try to
our
catch
area
that
is what sets us
20
out,
to,
because we have such a vast
22, just right under 20
area
size,
of
and harvest that and take
shallow
them home.
water grass flats.
And
You don't
usually
see
like
that
letting the
anywhere
bigger
else.
ones go.
I mean, you're
Fun
talking
catching them,
it's
but, I
30,
like
40,
letting them
50
go.
miles,
The smaller
easy,
ones are the better
if not
eating
more.
ones, but the bigger
You don't
ones
see that
are,
in Florida.
are more fun to catch.
You don't see that,
I mean,
you know, up
that's
in
just how it is.
the Houston area. Louisiana, they got a lot of rivers, marshes
GoPro
and
died, so
stuff,
that's why we're on
and
the
waterways
phone.
that cut in there. They have their own uniqueness.
know any
You
other
know what I'm
tidbits
saying?
that I can
Everybody has
So
their
this is an all
uniqueness.
artificial day. This next, I have one video from
ours
Monday
Is the
that was
experience
live bait
of fishing
that I have
the
to
shallow
finish
water
up. I'm gonna
flats
put the drone footage in
on the
it
lower Lagunamadre.
and then get that one posted.
That's where
when we came out on Monday, and we caught a lot of reds that
we
day
are
too.
at.
Caught 6 or 7 of them that
That's
day.
the beauty of it. Because you
but
can get
these,
out there and
I'll
you're the
get
only
these-
one
I'll
around.
start
Like right
getting
there,
them
I'm
in
the only
mix,
one around.
but,
There's nobody around me.
Then they'll start coming
Miles.
out. I need to post that big one first for Monday.
That's
and then
the
I'll
beauty
break
of
these
it.
down into 3 different videos,
By yourself,
so that they're not as long
just you
and
and the fish.
they're easier to upload, because you know a lot of times they're anywhere between 30 and 50 gigabytes when I try to upload, and it takes
That's
a
why
long
it never
time to
gets
get
old
them
for
to
me.
upload. It usually takes like all night.
Like I said, the boat's
upload
almost
to
finished.
YouTube.
It's bittersweet.
You know, pretty much most of the time. So if I can break them down to a little
The
bit
bitter
smaller
part, of
increments,
course,
it won't take as long.
Cassie is in here to
anyway, I'm
enjoy it,
rambling.
which I'm going to be
Cassie's already
covering
all
that
clocked out,
video, the
started
last
sitting there,
video
she's
that I
ready to
made with
go.
her
I just need to
soon,
fly the drone one last
a few
time.
weeks out.
Finish up with the fish
But
here.
the sweet part
Get them in
is
the ice chest, get them ready to go.
it's going to be all new, and me and Rusty, one of these days,
And we'll see you guys.
Rusty and me,
I hope y'all enjoy
we'll see you guys
being out here with
out
me and Cassie.
drift fishing on the lower
lower
Lagunamadre. I hope
Lagunamadre.
all of you have a great day,
Have a
and
good
thank
day.
you for watching.